I got 3 pair, 2 pair, and straight draws. I have a monster. I have top set, nut flush draw, and a wrap straight draw. Don't do it to me. Don't slow roll me, sir.
Greg Raymer is in seat 9. You got some familiar faces.
We're in trouble. We're up against Poker Face. I heard you're an up-and-comer. I want to put you on my channel, give you some exposure.
She shows it!
Peter Mayhem here at the lodge. There's Wayne from Dr. Fish Poker. Say hi to the blog, Wayne.
Okay. Come on, everybody, don't stop.
I'm playing 5-5 Big O for my second night at SA Card House in San Antonio, Texas. In addition, there are $10 double board bomb pots, which are played as 5-card high only. Unfortunately, in this hand, despite being on the button, I'm unable to connect with either flop, and I fold to a bet. In this hand, there's a $10 button straddle, and I call an early position holding Ace-King, Queen-Jack-4 with nut diamonds. It's not a great hand for lows, but can make some strong highs, and some hands we won't even have a low possible. We go multi-way to a flop, which unfortunately does have 2 low cards, and I have to fold to a bet. In the big blind, I call a $10 straddle with Ace-Queen-10-6-3, double suited in clubs and diamonds, and we go 6 ways to a flop of King-Queen-Deuce with 2 spades. And again, I have to fold to a pot-sized bet. The $10 button straddle is on, and there's a grumpy action player who raises it to $20 from under the gun. In middle position, I look down at Ace-3-5-5-6 with nut diamonds, and I make the call. The hijack button and big blind call the raise, taking us 5 ways to a flop.
I'm Phil, fucking help me, bitches.
The flop is Queen-Jack-Deuce, all diamonds. It checks to me, and I flop the nut flush, and I have a backdoor low possible as well. I bet 50, and only the grumpy action player calls.
It is a queen!
No! No! No!
The turn is the Queen of Hearts, and my opponent quickly checks. Well, that's unfortunate. I check behind. The river is the 3 of diamonds. Now my opponent assembles a bet of $90. I don't like it, and I grumble in frustration as I make the crying call.
Quad queens is good, yep.
My opponent, who min-raised pre-flop, out of position, against most of the field, turns over Queen-Queen 8-7-7 with 3 spades.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Pre-flop, our hands are roughly 55-45 in favor of me for overall equity, but fairly close to a coin flip. Post-flop, I have 62% equity on the flop and 0% on the turn. That being said, my opponent's hand is absolute trash in Big O, and if you're raising with that sort of holding long-term, expect to be losing a lot more money than you'll win with it. Aside from this specific perfect setup spot against me, you'll be hard-pressed to scoop with this hand in most matchups, and you'll frequently find yourself playing for at best half the pot, and usually getting free roll. The $10 button straddle is on, the big blind calls, another player calls, and now the grumpy action player who got me last hand raises again, making it 25. In the hijack, I look down at Ace-Jack 8 Deuce-Deuce with nut spades. I call, the button straddle and the small blind both fold. The big blind and limper both call, and we're going 4 ways to a flop.
All right, just like we practiced, sir.
The flop is 10-4 Deuce Rainbow. The action player pots for 115, and now on a shorter stack of just 130, I decide to make my stand with bottom set and a bad low draw. If I were deeper stacked here, or if the bet was coming from someone who actually plays good hands, I'd be folding this hand very quickly, but against this knucklehead and with my stack size, it's going in.
Good luck all in. Thanks, guys. Good luck all in. All right, I got them right where they want me. Tournament life on the line. Pick me. King of spades, king of clubs.
Really got
Shoves all in. Ace of hearts.
35 for the wheel.
35 for the real and a set of kings. Wow. Just had a set of deuces. Nice hand, nice hand. Another guy had, he had a set of tens. I was an ace 3. Jesus Christ. Choo-choo.
The $10 button straddle is on. The small blind, big blind, and under the gun have all called. In the hijack, I look down at Ace Deuce 3 9 Jack with nut diamonds. I make the call, and we wind up going 6 ways to a flop. The flop falls 6 Deuce Deuce Rainbow, giving me 3 deuces and the nut low draw. When it checks to me, I bet 60, and the button raises, and I'm not going anywhere.
Good luck all in. It's 225. All right, we're all in for 225. Pick me for the vlog. 3 of clubs. I got a deuce 3 and a live ace. The 6 is full, okay.
My opponent was the button straddle, and because no one raised, he was able to see this flop without putting any more money in pre-flop, which is why he turns over Jack 8-7, 6-6, having flopped the nut full house. Looking at our equities pre-flop, I'm 56% to his 44%, but on the flop he jumps to a 2-1 favorite with 66% equity. Fortunately, I'm able to make an emergency low for half. KFG Poker Club, with massive bad beat payouts. Poker tournaments with 4, 5, and 6-figure guarantees. And tons of cash games, from micro stakes all the way up to 10-20. Everything from Hold'em to Omaha, 4, 5, and 6 card, high and high-low. Follow the instructions on screen to join today. There's one limper, and under the gun +1, I look down at ace, deuce, deuce, 3, jack with nut diamonds. I come along. There's 3 callers behind me, and both blinds check their options, taking us 7 ways to a flop. The flop falls 9-6 deuce with 2 spades, giving me bottom set and the nut low draw. It's checks to the cutoff, who bets 20. We only lose 1 player as 6 of us go to the turn. The turn is the 4 of diamonds. Checks to me, and I bet the pot of 155 with only $5 behind.
And we take it down. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We're playing a $10 double board bomb pot, high only. I'm in the cutoff holding 9-5, 4-3 deuce, double suited, and hearts and clubs. The flops fall 10-5-4 rainbow and 9-5 deuce with 2 diamonds. There's a bet of 60 and it folds to me. I flop 2 pair on each board, and I have an open-ended straight draw on both boards as well. The guy who bet is on a shorter stack than my own, so I repot to isolate, making it 260. Folds back to him, and he's all in for 140.
I got 3 pair, 2 pair, and straight draws. All right.
Oh, dead.
So I got a straight on the bottom and 2 pair.
I 2-6. 5-6.
And he's got 5-6.
And
He got me on both.
7 high straight on the top.
Hi-ya. Nice hand, nice hand. Ah.
I make the call with ace deuce 9-9-10 and nut spades from the hijack. We go 6 ways to a flop of jack 9-5 with 2 clubs. There's a $40 bet, and then another player raises to 100. I have middle set, a backdoor low, and some straight and flush blockers, but facing this action, I decide to lay it down. Under the gun has raised to 15. There's one call in the hijack. I look down at ace 4, 5, 6, double suited in clubs and hearts, and I make the call. We wind up going 4 ways to a flop of 8-7 deuce with 2 hearts. The original raiser pots for 65, and with the second low, an open-ended straight draw, and a flush draw, and only 90 left in front of me, it's going in. Both the big blind and the original raiser call. Looking at the equities when the money goes in, I'm a slight dog with 46% to my opponent's 54%. We will tie roughly 63% of the time, but this is not one of those times.
The other guy folds.
No, low, 9-6 straight. 9-6, 31. What?
That's second straight and a heart draw and second low.
Yellow.
What a fucking river.
It's not even a big game.
The button has straddled to 25. And then the small blind, I look down at ace, king, queen, queen, jack, double suited in diamonds and hearts. I make the call. The big blind and one other player calls. The button checks his option, and we are going 4 ways to a flop. The flop falls queen 10-7 with 2 diamonds. I'm not thrilled with my play here, which is to lead for the full pot of 100. I flop top set, the nut flush draw, and a wrap straight draw. I can hit an ace, king, jack, or 9 to make the nut straight. I can hit the flush. I can hit the full house. I have every single out in the deck. I should be letting my opponents hang themselves here, but maybe it's just that I'm used to bullshit runouts screwing me in the end when I don't bet my hand, so I decide to not allow that to happen again. Fortunately, one of my opponents shoves all in.
All in?
I have a monster. I have top set, nut flush draw, and a wrap straight draw.
Oh, wow, running low. It's good.
Put a deuce out there.
New leader.
Set of queens.
Set of queens. Don't do it to me. Don't slow roll me, sir.
I got there.
Show me 4 or 5, Mama.
Don't slow roll me. Yeah, so
Don't do it. Okay.
emergency low. Emergency low. He escapes with half. What a dealer.
It's the dealer's fault.
It is the dealer's fault.
Looking at the equities when the money goes in, I have 85%. I scoop 70% of the time, and 30% of the time we're going to chop this up. My opponent wins 0.1% of the time by catching running tens to make quads. So I am just free rolling them here for stacks. But as usual, the universe seems to not like me scooping pots and lets my victim escape with half. I managed to win half of a small bomb pot when my top 2 pair holds up on one board.
Ace king good for half. All right. All right, one for the good guys. Thank you, sir.
Come on, player.
The button has straddled to 10, and in the small blind I call holding ace deuce 3 jack king with nut hearts. 2 players call behind, and the straddler, the grumpy action player, can't help himself and raises to 25. I call, as do the 2 limpers. The flop falls king 5 deuce all clubs. I check, there's a bet of 20. I make the call with 2 pair and the nut low draw. We go 3 ways to a turn. The turn falls the 7 of clubs. I check, and once again, Mr. Grumpy Action Player on the button bets 60. I call, and we go heads up to the river. The river falls the jack of spades. I check call his 225 bet, only to get shown some bad news that even Grumpy Action Players can have monsters sometimes, as he turns over the nut flush and the nut low to quarter me.
31.
Yeah, I got the 31, 2, and 2 pair.
3 pair.
Nice hand.
225. He's gonna get hat roll.
Yeah.
They want me to bring this all in now. Unfortunately,
You're fine.
ends up on the river and let's go back.
It folds to me, and in the cutoff, I look down at ace, queen, jack, 8-4, double suited. I make the call. The small blind checks his option. Now the big blind can't help himself, raising to 15. I call, as does the small blind. The flop falls ace, 10, 9 with 2 clubs and 1 spade. Both blinds check. While I don't have a single club in my hand, I did flop a wrap straight draw plus top pair. I can hit a king, queen, jack, 8, or 7 that aren't clubs to make the nuts. I bet the pot of 45. The small blind calls. The turn falls the 8 of hearts. My opponent checks, and I keep the gas pedal to the floor, betting the pot of 135. Once again, he calls. Please don't fuck me on this river. Please don't fuck me on this river. The river is the queen of diamonds. Now, I lose if he has king jack. We check it down, and I'm good as my opponent turns over king queen 6-3 deuce without the club draw. On the flop, he was putting his money in with only 30% equity, and on the turn, about 34% equity. And finally, for once, I actually scoop a frigging pot instead of my opponent getting bailed out for half. I raise to 15 from early position with ace 3-4 queen queen. I get a few callers. The big blind pots to 75, and I re-raise to 200. This folds out the limper and the small blind, and the big blind is all in for 105.
Yeah. No, I agree, but he's only 6,000.
I have the nut low and a straight.
So he gets,
yeah.
if he gets 12 to 15 points, 34 and 31.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Might be all
3
right.
deuces.
Frees up a lot of salary to.
Yeah, it's good for them.
I think we're good.
Old Puka's gonna run wild tomorrow.
He's looking at his hands.
My opponent decided to make his stand with queen jack 9-8 deuce, and he did flop 3 deuces, but I make the straight and the nut low, and I scoop a small pot. Hey guys, Anthony here. So that was a frustrating session. The grumpy player that was action at the table with the queen 8-7-7 raises, and he right off the bat pretty early in the session got into an argument with another player. The other player was asking him to kind of square up where he was seated because he was not really where he was supposed to be. And he was arguing with the guy. He's like, I'm right in front of the cup holder. Well, Big O is played 8-handed, so it's not a 9-handed game. You don't sit in front of the cup holder. Everyone's kind of shifted a little bit in between them to an extent. But, you know, I didn't get involved because I'm brand new there. I don't need the drama. But so that was kind of his start to his grumpiness, and just throughout the whole session, the guy was just miserable, even though he was winning. I flopped the nut flush. He makes quads. The other hand where he scooped me and the other guy. That was pretty brutal. I think the other guy had flopped like the nut low draw on top set, and then this guy wound up turning he had the wrap draw too, so I can't blame him. But he turned a set of kings. He rivered the wheel, and I had a set of deuces, I think it was. And so he scooped that one. But then if you saw the footage, he just goes and he just grabs the guy's racket chips and takes him over and starts slamming the chips down. Like, dude, like you won the hand. Just fucking calm down, chill out. And he kept making comments throughout the session about, oh, we got to send these out of towners home, because I was vlogging, and he's one of those misregs, and if he sees anyone enjoying themselves and being social, he can't stand it, and he's got to be just negative. And if you're a room operator, it is okay to fire bad customers, because one customer like that is going to poison the vibe of your table. You're going to lose 10 customers for one bad customer. It's just, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. And so I don't understand, guys like that just are just grumpy and miserable and just want everyone else around them to be miserable. But it can be infectious, it can make other people like that as well. So it was a rough session. I think there was a hand too where he actually had a legitimate hand against me, and I wound up making like 2 pair and the nut low, and he of course had the nut low plus the flush, and so I got quartered. And then there was that other hand where I was like 85% equity. I flopped the monster. I got the wrap straight draw. I've got the nut flush draw. I've got top set. And my opponent had like, I think the second flush draw. So he's drawing practically dead, and he catches running cards, and he had like an 8 deuce for a backup low to escape with half of that pot. So the universe was not letting me scoop any pots. So it was frustrating. It was an irritating session for me, not only because of the run of cards, but because of the grumpy action player that was winning. I'm fine with grumpy action players as long as they're losing. So anyway, thank you for letting me ramble. I'm trying not to let those misregs and those grumps, suck the life and the light out of me. I try to still, have fun at the table, keep it light and everything. And hopefully you guys see that. And if you played with me, you probably know it. So anyway, that's my ramble. That was my trip to San Antonio. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.